We'll ask some superlatives of the quarter season mark and just want to hear your thoughts and opinions on each of these people that we're going to be selecting here. And since we were on AJ Johnson first, let's use this one as the main transition point. Troy, who's a player in the next quarter of this season that you are hoping and expecting to take another leap?
I'm going with Will Riley. That's the guy who I believe is poised to be the improved player, most improved player for the Wizards for this season. Well, I mean, he's a rookie, but the thing is, like, you can just see from where he was in summer league to where he is right now, like how much he has grown as a basketball player. And the fact that he's actually literally still growing. Shout out to Bijan Todd from Monumental Sports, who posted a tweet yesterday that Will Riley says he's now 6'10", and he says his legs still hurt, like he still feels growing pains. And so, like, we're talking about a guy who is quite literally, physically still growing, and like is growing on the basketball court with his skill set. Isaac did a great job last week of going and talking to him at the Capital City Go-Go game about how he's used to growing up playing point guard in his prep ball. And so, like, watching him play with the Wizards, how he reads the defenses, his anticipation, his just overall great feel for the basketball game, I'm very intrigued by him as a prospect right now.
I'm going to go with Alex Sarr based off what we've seen so far. Obviously, he's hurt, he's injured, but I can only imagine that he's going to come off when he gets out of injury in the second half of the season like he did last year. He's going to come off with a little more fire in his step. I mean, he's improved in all of his statistics as a rookie, and he's been showing that he's a defensive monster. I'm expecting a big second half so far, and the superlative I'm giving is like, hey, big growth.
And Mike?
I'm going to go with Bilal Coulibaly. And honestly, like I know he's got the oblique, and that's probably going to keep him down for quite a bit here. But I feel like that. I mean, that Bucks game, I was just so impressed with how he played defensively and guarding Giannis. And I mean, look, like he didn't shoot the ball well, and offensively, like the strides that we wanted him to make throughout these last few seasons are just like he just hasn't made them quite yet, and maybe he doesn't. But I do feel like he's settling into a role where defensively, like you've got your on-ball point of attack stopper for years to come if Bilal can pan out. And like you just gotta hope that three ball comes there. And I'm hoping that once he returns from this oblique injury and has more time to sort of play with this team, like maybe the offense comes around. But I love what I've seen so far from him defensively. And I'm just hoping to see a lot more of that whenever he comes back.
All right, so we have Will Riley, Alex Sarr, and Bilal Coulibaly as everyone's selection for the player to take the next big leap in the next quarter of this season. Let's move on over to the players who have already been performing to this point. Mike, who would you attribute as the MVP of the Wizards so far?
Oh, I mean, it's got to be Alex Sarr, right? Like it just has to be Alex Sarr. I'm so excited that Alex Sarr looks like legitimately like the best player on this team right now, which again is not saying much because the team's not great, but like it has been so long since I feel like the Wizards have had a defined this is your guy, right? And Sarr is the closest thing that we've seen to that. And as the team continues to add talent, because they're going to add a top 5-ish pick, or sorry, let me not speak that into existence. The lottery guys will come and strike me down. But if they add a great talent this offseason and get a bona fide score to pair with Sarr, like maybe that's not the case. Maybe he's not the best guy on the team moving forward. But just the fact that he's shown the potential to be that, like I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, no, I agree with the MVP take because I mean. He's starting out so strong, and we're seeing that his ceiling. We haven't seen what his ceiling will be yet. So yeah, no, I'm with you. I have to say it, MVP as well.
I'm gonna zag here. I'm gonna go with Keyshawn George as the MVP of the team so far. The only reason why I'm gonna go with it is because he's played more games than Alex Sarr. Alex Sarr has been on a stretch where he's been hurt, and Keyshawn has been one of the more available players for the Wizards for this season. But Keyshawn is averaging 15 points a game, and he also leads the team with 4.8 assists per game. And so when you talk about a guy who is, a wing player, who is really kind of showing his playmaking chops, he's the best playmaker we have on this team. Like, a lot of these other guys wouldn't be able to get into the offense because we don't have a point guard to set them up. And so since he has really, taken the onus upon himself to, kind of step into that role, I'm going to give him the credit for showing up and, trying to help get everybody else involved and call him my quarter season MVP.
All right. So we've got two Alex.
I do want to say one more thing on Keyshawn, and this will be quick, but I feel like he could probably play 3 to 5 more minutes a game if he just stopped fouling.
Oh, that's his big that's his NBA Achilles heel right now. Like he's a hack right now. Like that's you know what I'm saying. He's a hack. He's out there hacking. So
that's the only reason why he's not my MVP. That's it.
All right, so we got 2 Alex Sars and Keyshawn George. Let's move on to the player we think has already made some marginal improvements so far. Troy, who would you have as the most improved Wizard so far?
I'm gonna go with I guess I'm gonna go with Keyshawn George because he's gonna be my most improved just because I thought it was very interesting that the other 2 rookies made all rookie teams last year and he didn't, and how that he came in this summer and like we talked about it with the jump season stuff, and like Keyshawn put in a lot of work, and he with playing with the Canadian national team, like he just has taken so many leaps and bounds with his game, and so like I got to give him the nod as the guy who's improved the most.
I have to give Keyshawn too. I mean, like he's proving everybody wrong because at one point a year ago we thought he was going to be the odd man out of this class. And he's shown throughout Summer League, throughout the Americup, and throughout this quarter half of the year that he's like, no, I'm not the odd man out. I'm part of this. I'm just as much as part of this as Alex, as Bub, as everybody else, and is playing like, hey, maybe I'm the face of this core. So yeah, without a doubt, I'm giving him that too.
And Mike,
I know there's a large contingent of the Wizards Twitter that wants to get rid of this guy, and I may or may not be in that contingent, but Corey Kispert, man. I want to shout out Corey Kispert, bro. Like he's actually making shots now. Actually making shots now.
Honestly, Mike, when I was debating, like that was the other name that I was considering, but he just hasn't played like over the last. But shout out to him, man, because that last game that he did play went crazy. At least he got hurt before he went crazy. Like after he went crazy, like so look, Right. Cashing tickets and stuff. Look,
you got to. He's got to play more. He's got to play more. And like when he comes back from injury, like we'll see if this lasts. But like I liked what I saw out of him from these first. I think what was it, 17, 18 games or something like that. Like he's just been like he's been making shots and they've been timely. So like I just want to shout him out.
Definitely seems fair there. Now let's move on to a general assessment of the team. Mike, what would you say has been the biggest surprise so far for the Wizards this part of the season?
I think the biggest surprise for me has just been the development of the young guys, really sans Bub Carrington. Like he's the only one who has been sort of like Bub is kind of on the trajectory that I thought everyone was going to be on, where like the improvements would kind of be marginal and incremental. But like Alex Sarr has really taken a leap here and has, like I said, become the MVP of this team. Keyshawn George, not only does he look like a genuine rotation player in the NBA, but he looks like a starter. And like if he stops fouling, who knows? Like the sky's the limit there. And so like we have not seen a Wizards team develop talent like this in almost a decade at this point. And so for these guys to make these leaps in year 2 like this, I gotta say I am shocked. Like that's surprising for me.
Biggest surprise. I'm gonna sound like it's a broken record, but I have to say it. It's Will Riley for me. Who would have thought this guy, first round pick, late, there's a lot of, he was super young. He's showing spurts and like a little bit of his game overall that, hey, there's something here that's even bigger potential. And I hate to dare I say it, it reminds me of Miles McBride for the Knicks, on how he was developing throughout the G League, scoring a lot, just working on that game, and now is figured out to be a contributor for a heavy, deep playoff team. I see the same development in that, so I have to give it to Will Riley.
Yeah, for me, I'm gonna go with Cam Whitmore as my biggest surprise. I'm just surprised that he is still kind of struggling with his on court, just overall feel for the game. Like I'm just surprised that he hasn't changed his playing style since like that. What he had doing in Houston really wasn't working to the best. And so, like, I thought that he would, kind of like use this opportunity to really, show that he can pass the ball. He can, he can come out there and get others involved. And I'm just surprised that he hasn't really kind of developed that acumen yet. But I have not given up on Cam Whitmore, and so I'm very much looking forward to what he can do for the rest of the season.
All right. Now let's move on to the biggest disappointment for the team so far this year. Troy?
For me, it's got to be Bub Carrington. Just because, like, coming off of what he did last season, I really thought that he was poised to make a leap, or not a leap, but just an incremental jump in his play. And to me, like, I think that he's kind of regressed in almost every area of the game. And so that to me is just very disappointing. And the biggest thing is the fact that I know that he put in so much work this offseason. I know that his heart is in the right place. I know that this is a guy who really wants it. And to see him like kind of struggling right now, it really is. I feel for the guy. It's just kind of sad to see things not break the way that I know he wants it to.
I'm gonna just say a different name, but he was someone I was considering. As of right now, Trey Johnson. You're talking about a guy who came in as a gym rat, someone who looks like he's going to stay healthy, and be so reliable. He's hurt, and he's needed right now as a rookie to try to develop, because he's poised as like the next scorer for this team to lead him. So I'm a little disappointed that his health is taking a factor. I mean, he did show spurts, but I wish I got to see more of him, I guess, in that sense.
And Mike?
I'm gonna go with Brian Keefe.
Oh, there we go.
Actually, and that's I mean, so I was a fan of his last year, right? And like I thought that he pushed the right buttons with the guys. He did the things that he needed to do with the team and develop guys the right way. Last season, but this season, I don't know. There feels like there's a bit of angst with him that like it wasn't present last year. It feels like he's pressing a little bit more. Like he's leaning on vets in spaces that I'm like, I don't know that we should be doing this. Like this doesn't feel like the right button to push. This doesn't feel like the right way to go. And then like the stuff with Cam, the stuff with Bub, I'm just like I don't know. It feels, the Wizards feel like way more unbalanced to me right now than they did last season, despite the strides that the young guys have made. And so considering that, I kind of gotta lay that at his feet a little bit. Like I still think that he can be a pretty good coach, but I gotta say, like, I got a lot more questions about him now than I did at the end of last year.
Well, that certainly seems to be something that a lot of people are holding right now. I think that's been one of the consensus criticisms as of late.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And like Brian Keefe, and I guess I want to say the whole defensive unit as a whole is probably in question there, because you're talking about a guy who preaches like, oh, this effort and its minutes are earned. We're not seeing a lot of that right now. We're not seeing a lot of that either. So yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to if I have to quote myself from my Substack. In the section I talked about Brian Keefe. I said, a rebuild requires structure, even within chaos. Right now, the Wizards look like a team searching for that structure in the dark. And so that, to me, is best describes what Brian Keefe is doing. Like, none of it makes sense. Like, it's just like none of the rotations have logic. None of his answers in the post-game press conferences lead you to believe that he actually knows like what he's doing right now. Like this is he really just seems, it's just giving me a lot of substitute teacher vibes.
Well, what's worrying too is the moves he's making don't even feel like the typical moves of someone who's coaching for their jobs, right? Like it's just every decision is like, what is this for? What is this rooted in? It doesn't feel like it's trying to get wins. It doesn't feel like it's trying to develop. It's like somewhere in the middle, trying to balance two, and it just feels completely lost.